Well, good morning, everyone. Thomas Montgomery. It's a beautiful Tuesday morning, July 5th, 2022. Missed you all yesterday. We did not have our Zoom on Independence Day on July 4th, but we do get together with our distribution partners most weekday mornings at this time, 8 o'clock Central, to talk strategy, success stories, techniques, but we're really just here to support each of you. We typically will focus on topics that we hear a need to based upon our interactions with you, our distribution partners. I think the topic of the day should be based upon the response we've had over the weekend, over the holiday weekend, is more about leads. So there's nothing new that we have to talk about leads, but we certainly can explore some options. So LeadTycoons.com is the page I'm describing now. We don't have any financial affiliation with LeadTycoons. If you buy from them, we don't know it. What you pay them goes to them. We don't have any revenue share with them. So there's no conflict of interest. But LeadTycoons.com offers a number of different sources and types of leads that I wanted to walk you through briefly. And then we're going to talk about, instead of buying leads, generating leads. So that'll be part two. But part one first, let's go ahead and look at LeadTycoons.com. Now, they have different models, including live call transfers, top left corner here. And this is a free trial. I don't know how that works, but that's where they're going to have someone on the phone and literally transfer them to you. That's very powerful. So if you're a white label partner on our access to capital, that's leads of small businesses looking for funding. Alternatively, if you're a white label partner on the 60-day credit sweep, now we're talking about live transfers for credit repair, credit improvement. So depending upon your campaign, of course, the type of leads that you would want would be different. What you and I do know is there's a pretty good overlap. A lot of the people that's looking for funding have credit issues. So you'll first want to decide what's the campaign that you're wanting to run, who is your target audience for that campaign, and then where do you get the leads for that target audience. But live calls is an option. This is going to be pretty expensive, and it's an option, but it's not the most frequently used. But we're just going through the page here. They'll also schedule appointments with you, which is not a bad option, because here you got to be available on the fly. Here they'll actually schedule appointments with you, but we're going to talk about other ways to organically do this in just a moment. Probably of this first row, the most common is the aged leads, are the aged leads. And so for about $3 a piece, you can get business loan leads. And so those are very strong and very popular for a very reasonable price. You can get a little bit older leads. So now we're getting 500 leads instead of 100 for the same price, $300, which makes sense the older that they are. And so will your conversion rates go down a bit as they get older? Yeah, probably. It's just not as fresh, but it's very economical here. Now you're below $1 a lead. Mobile lines, we've had a number of you use this and do a texting campaign. So instead of an email campaign, launching a text campaign. And text campaigns tend to have higher conversions than emails, because the text comes through, you tend to look at it. Emails can get lost in the muck. So this is a really good option, very affordable when you're getting the mobile line cell phone numbers of 1,000 business owners for only $200. If you do the math on that, that is really strong. You can get database from people that have gone through the PPP loan process, and that lets you know that they have some competency, some sophistication, but there's a good chance that money is dried up. So now they might be ready for the next round of funding. And depending upon how you want to pitch the access to capital, since it is a grant subsidized program, you could probably get some good traction with that. UCC data, we'll skip for now. You can do different targeted industries for business to business data. business email list, get a big email list. With any type of lead outreach, it's important that you think about launching a sequence, not just a singular outreach. What do you and I know about advertising? It typically takes 5 to 7 exposures before someone engages. Now, will some people respond the first text or first email they receive? Yes. Will a few more second? Yes. But the ideal is to develop a campaign with 5 to 7 points of contact. And so if you're going to send text, you would create a campaign of 5 to 7 text messages, which we've created those texts and send them out to you before. If you need those, I can get those to you. But that works really well for this. But the point, regardless of which of these, is having what you'd almost call a drip marketing campaign. So not suggesting that you won't see any results until the 5th or 7th touch, not saying that at all, but the more touches, the higher the response rate. Here's the first PPP data, because this was the second. And then even micro funding. So any of these can be useful. Again, we're a third part. We're third party to this. We're just letting you know this is a vendor that others have used with success. You can go to LeadTycoons.com if you want and explore as you wish. If you're looking for more leads, regardless if you're a white label partner on the access to capital, helping clients get a minimum of $100,000 funding, and or if you're a white label partner on the 60-day credit sweep, helping them improve their credit. Okay, so there's scenario one. Another that I think is often overlooked is going to sources like Upwork. And so I've created an Upwork account. You can create an Upwork account for free, and then you can type in what you're looking for. And I typed in lead development just to have this prepped before you all came on the line. And so, for example, we'll highlight Tasmir. And again, I don't know Tasmir individually. I have no financial relationship with him, but he has expertise in lead generation. He's outside of the US, which tends to make his price much lower. I mean, $5 an hour. And so he'll go generate leads for you. He's even available right now. He's had high success. He's got a top rating. So you can go through and so you can go to Upwork, and I haven't practiced this, but let's say that you're a 60-day credit sweep white label partner. Does anyone do credit repair leads, for example? We'll see. And so I guess he's actually doing the credit repair. She's doing the credit repair. Now, if they're doing the credit repair, they might actually have some leads as well. But you have, I guess, what we're primarily getting here. Here's lead generation for $3 an hour. Let's take a look at MD. Yeah, so he might be a real good option for you if you don't have leads. And again, he's charging, what was it? $3 an hour. So do you want to buy leads? You can go buy leads if you want, or you can generate leads. Now, some of these folks will create landing pages and sequences and such, like we talked about. Others will play a more specific role. That's your responsibility, right? You're an entrepreneur. If you are a white label partner, whether it be on the access to capital or on the 60-day credit sweep, you are an entrepreneur. And you know your revenue and how profitable it is. But if your goal is to make money, you need conversions. And for conversions, you need leads. So if you already have a lead system in place, then, hey, the system's not broken. But if you don't have enough leads coming in to drive the conversions, to drive the income that you're wanting, you can either go buy the leads, or there are people, what I would consider professionals, from all across the globe that have competencies in generating leads. And so we can go back to just straight lead generation. Probably bring up the search that I had a moment ago. And so again, the prices are across the board, $5 an hour. This lady is a little bit more. She's almost $6 an hour. But I mean, who else are you going to get that's going to help fill your funnel? Because we know the goal as a white label partner is for you to generate $100,000 of gross income per month. And we talk about gross income, that's important because we recognize that businesses are not going to have 100% profit margins. There are going to be expenses of running a business. If you run a Domino's franchise, you're going to have to buy some dough and some pizza sauce, right? It'd be nice to make all the money off of each pizza, but that's the gross income. There's going to be expenses. If, as a business owner, if you don't have enough leads to generate the conversions, to generate the revenue and profit you want, then you need to find a way to increase your lead flow. And that's the topic today. You could go out and you could buy leads, or you could almost outsource it to someone like Sabarna at $5 an hour, MST at $5.90, Mumad, even more expensive, $6 an hour. And what you do is you go into Upwork and you can post a job and post what you're willing to pay, and people will bid on it. And sometimes people that are asking for $6 an hour will be willing to reduce their price. But you shouldn't, and I'm not saying that you are, so don't take it wrong, but you just can't expect to be an entrepreneur and not focus on leads. Leads are the lifeblood of the business because leads drive conversions, and conversions drive sales, and sales drives income. So who has questions? And we've got a big group this morning, which I'm thankful for. Who has questions on using like Upwork to generate the leads? Because we'll provide you a free landing page, right? Let me go ahead and open that up. So we'll go to 4weekfunding.org. All of you should have a free landing page. It should look just like this, but the URL will be slightly different, of course. And so then you can drive people to your free landing page that we provide free. All of this will be coded to you. And so if you buy leads, what would you do? You would want to drive them to your landing page. Or if you work with someone that's going to develop organically with leads, what's the goal? Is to drive people to your landing page. I think in general, and some of you won't like me saying this, but I think it's an honest statement. In general, the goal is not to get people to talk to you, because that is time consuming and can be inconvenient for you. And so our top producers, and you don't have to do it this way, you can have more of a high touch approach, but our top producers typically will have a system to generate leads and drive them into their landing page. And we see great conversions from that. You've heard me say this many times, but Jeff last year in one 30-day period had over 400 enrollments, not 400 inquiries, but 400 enrollments by driving into his landing page. And we're providing you a landing page for free. If you don't have one, just come to 4weekfunding.org, fill this out. The magic button is the yes. It doesn't cost anything. There's no production requirements, no nonsense. Submit the blue, an email will come to you, confirm that you want to be a referral partner, get you set up as a referral partner, and it'll automatically email you your landing page, and you'll be open for business. And so how much do you get paid? Of course, it depends. If you just want to be a referral partner, you're making about $5,000. It's specifically 5 points of each client's capital raise that goes through the process that you drive here. If you want to be a white label partner, then typically you're using what we call the hybrid approach. You probably drive people in just like this, but then once they're into the 4-week funding process, then you can help them get access to their first tranche of financing right away. And white label partners make usually 2 to 3 times as much as referral partners. But regardless of that, what questions do any of you have on leads? Because here we are, it's July 5th. We're early into the new month, and it's an opportunity to look forward to the month of July, identify how much income that you want to earn, and then you back into it, right? Okay, well, if I want to make X dollars, how many conversions, how many enrollments do I need to make X dollars? Okay. And then how many leads am I going to need to be able to drive to get those number of conversions? So let's work through that. We'll use Joseph as an example. He's one of our top white label partners, licensed realtor out of Arkansas. So Joseph, I haven't asked him beforehand, but I'm assuming his goal is 100,000 this month, in the month of July. That's his norm. So if Joseph, as a white label partner, wants to earn $100,000, then how many conversions does he need to have to earn 100,000? 8, right? Because he should be making around 12,500 per conversion. Not all of it earned up front, I know. So Joseph needs a plan to drive in at least 8 people, 8 clients in the month of July to hit his financial goal. Well, how many leads will Joseph need to get 8 conversions? Well, if we take Jeff again, for example, when he had his huge month, which was granted last year, he was right at about 53% conversion. So we'll just round off and call it 50%. So you get your free landing page. And so again, using Joseph's goals, you would need about 16 people to fill this out, which feeds them into the funnel. Then they'll get the agreement. The automation is there to prompt them, to remind them. And we would anticipate around 50% of the people that fill this out will enroll. Now, some of you have tried to game the system, and we'll talk about how that'll skew your numbers. If you just load a bunch of people in here, you know Sam, right? And Sam doesn't know what this is all about, but you just put in Sam's information and submit him. Well, cold leads that don't fill out this page themselves, I don't think you will see a 50% conversion. But if you use the Jeff model, where you get leads from whatever source, have those leads come to your landing page, which we provide you for free, the lead themselves fills this out. And then if they don't complete the enrollment process, Scott Stroud, our chief marketing officer, has already built in the automation to prompt them, to remind them. It's not unreasonable to expect 50%. So back to, what would Joseph need? Joseph would probably need about 16 people to fill out the form on his landing page to anticipate 8 enrollments to result in the 100,000 July gross income goal. If you're just a referral partner, you don't make as much as Joseph, so that number is going to have to go up. If you want to earn 100,000 as a referral partner, knowing that you're going to make 5 points off the capital raise, and we're going to need 20 enrollments. And if we're still assuming a 50% conversion, you need about 40 people coming through this. 40 sounds like a big number, but it's really not. It's barely more than 1 a day. And so you can go get leads from these different sources. You can have some very talented, wonderful people. Russell right now is according to this, he's ready for you. He's ready for more work right now. He's had great job success. He's hardworking, and at $6 an hour. Now you might say, well, I don't have $6 an hour. Well, you need working capital then, right? Then we need to bring you through this, because if you don't have some working capital, it's very difficult to have a vibrant business. And it's okay to not have as much capital as you need. That's part of the growth of a business. But if we couldn't go hire Rasil for 10 hours at $6 an hour to let him go hit your numbers for July, then we really have we don't have a lead problem, we have a cash flow problem. So Warren's asking, it's a great point. There's many other sources for leads. We've talked about, you can develop your own affiliate network where people are referring to you. You can go to Data Axle, which used to be called Sales Genie Reference USA. You can get a free trial with that, or go through your library and access a database. So you're right, Warren. There's many, many different sources of leads. We talked about educating and teaching to fill your funnel. But today, so yes, Warren, the Data Axle is still good. The point today is, if we just needed to really drill down and make sure we have a good plan for July, I would encourage you to either consider, if you don't feel like you already have the leads. If you already have the leads, don't do anything other than just work those leads. But if you don't have the leads, LeadTycoons has a number of options or for almost nothing, you can get these folks. Now, what I do know is, let's say that you look at Russell and say, well, $6 an hour, man, that's a lot of money. I don't know, I want to pay him $6 an hour. You might be able to go to Russell and offer him a deal. Hey, Russell, what if I offered you $3 an hour, but some incentive based upon how many people enrolled? You know, so you could be creative. This is just the normal rate. Again, you can go post a job. You can post under my job and let them know what you're looking for, and people will come to you and bid. You could offer them 100% commission. In other words, where they have no hourly rate, they're only paid off of results. And so again, it's up to you. You're the entrepreneur. As the white label partner, it's your business. You can decide how you want to generate leads for the Access to Capital white label program and or for the 60-day credit sweep. It's up to you. I just wanted to bring to your attention a couple options that could get you going very quickly. So who has questions on lead generation? Alfred, we've got 213, someone just dropped off, 213 people involved. So who has questions regarding leads? Alfred, Bernard, Charles, Doug, Jeanette, Jeremy, Joseph, KP, Lon, Pierre, Veronica, Warren, Wayne, 200 others of you. Who has questions or comments? Because it's a formula, right? If your goal is, you want to help people, of course, but if your goal is to make money for yourself, then we have to have conversions. And conversions means people that enroll. And to get conversions, you have to have leads. And so if you already have the leads or have a system in place, we're not suggesting that you change it. But the most frequent question that we get from our distribution partners is, hey, where can I get leads? And so you can either have them organically developed for you by some really talented people. Now, if you switch over to US only, you're still going to have staff, but these folks are more expensive. And so, you know, Daniel went $75 an hour. Although, Daniel, we're working for $6 an hour, but a lot of people are going to look for higher rates. Here's 15 an hour, but it's up to you. I mean, it doesn't matter to me who you want to hire, but certainly if you toggle this to not US only, you're going to get more affordable talent, just because in some areas of the world, the cost structure, the money model is different. Okay, so is everyone confident that you have enough leads for the month of July to hit your numbers? So Alfred, Bernard, Charles, Doug, Jeanette, Jeremy, Joseph, KP, Lon, Pierre, Veronica, Warren, Wayne, and others, are you all confident you have enough leads right now? Your funnel is strong enough right now that you're going to have enough leads to hit your conversions to make the revenue that you want in July? I'm curious if you'll respond back in the Q&A. It's kind of like a chat box on Zoom. So asking everyone to respond. Do you feel that you have enough leads in your funnel right now to hit your July numbers? Because if not, we need to do something different. Going out and teaching and conducting workshops online or in person is an option. We're doing a huge online workshop. I think it's Wednesday evening at 6 o'clock for one of you, one of our newest distribution partners. So there's many different strategies. You can always go back to the prior YouTube videos where we talked about different angles. But if you don't want to have to put time and effort into creating the leads, you can simply go buy them here or have them generated here. Now, there's like 5R, and I've never used it. I've used Upwork many times, but the bottom line is that there's other alternatives. We have no financial interest in these, but I've used Upwork with great success. We had a group when we were still building before we hit our flow. I was spending $3,000 a month with a group. Now, the individual looked just like an individual. It's not any of these people, but actually when I clicked on it, he actually ran a whole call center. Sometimes you don't know, but the bottom line is you can get great talent here that they can go generate the leads and drive them to your free landing page, or you simply can go buy the leads. I guess you could do a combination of the two as well. You could go buy some leads and then pay some of these people to work them. So let's say we move away from leads and we say internal sales. And so let's say, okay, I've got the leads. Now I need someone to work the leads. And so here are sales. Well, let's change it to telemarketing. How's that? Now, if you're following the Jeff model, you're just driving people to your landing page, driving to the landing page. So your goal isn't to talk to them. But if you wanted someone to make calls, so let's say that you bought some aged business leads and wanted someone to reach out to them, Aisha from Pakistan, very successful, and she'll make calls for you all day long at $5.50 an hour. Then some of them are more expensive, of course. Cheryl, she'll make calls for you or set appointments if that's what you prefer for $8 an hour. So again, and you know, some of them are a lot more expensive, and I'm not saying that the more expensive people aren't worth it, but for under $10 an hour, there's quite a few people that can help you. If the issue is, hey, I don't have the cash to put into leads, I don't have the working capital, we should say, to put into leads or to put into staff, then probably what you need to do is to go through this, because that would, and I don't mean this negatively, but what that means is your company's insolvent. And if your company's insolvent, we need to resolve that, right? And so certainly you could do the work yourself, what we call bootstrapping, to get up and going and or get you some funding. All right, and so then Pierre asked a good question. So when we're doing the hybrid model, which we've talked about in separate trainings, that's where our white label partners bring the clients here first on the free landing page, get the client started on the free 4-week funding program, and then the white label partners then pivot them over during that 28-day process and offer them to get their first tranche of financing. So as a white label partner, your metric is based upon enrollments in the white label access to capital, which is easily done as step 2 after bringing them into this step 1 as a referral partner. If you're only a referral partner, then you don't worry about the conversion. You just feed people into your individualized landing page. So just to clarify, we're looking at 4weekfunding.org right now, but what you receive is a page that looks just like this, but it's not this URL. You don't want to drive people to this page specifically, because this is an inset that's tied to our CRM. So when you have your own link, then this box is tied to you. So you get reporting. You're able to see who's filled this out, who's gone forward to enroll, and so forth. You don't want to just feed people into the generic page. All right, any questions on leads before we wrap it up today? So leads are available. There's no shortage of small businesses that want and need capital. If you want the quickest, you can go over here and get some age business leads. You can get 500 of them for $300 right here. If you want to do that, and click on it and learn a little bit more, and then you're up and going with that. And they have an active phone line guarantee to make sure you don't get bad leads. So if you want to use this, you're up and running in a matter of 24 hours. You'll still need to reach out to them, right? And you can reach out to them by phone, by email, and or by text. If you want to outsource that, you don't want to actually do the outreach, then you can create automation to do that, or even hire staff that would do it for you, like Shaheen. Any other questions, comments, concerns on leads today? Because at the end of the day, we want you to have a big month in July. If you're a white label partner, you promise to help at least 8 clients in access to capital. If you're a white label partner on the 60-day credit suite, you promise to help at least 10 people with the credit suite. It's not a problem. That's not an insurmountable barrier, and that actually just puts you where you need to be income-wise. But if that's the end result you want, we have to have the leads. And what we covered today are some options to get leads, either through Upwork, which you can set up a profile for free and post a job, or you can go over to LeadTycoons.com and they have a number of packages. Are there other places you can get leads? Of course. I'm just trying to simplify and show you a couple strategies that we've seen success with before. All right. Well, thanks everyone. Have a great day. We'll see you back tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.